Alaska Natives and education. The term achievement gap is commonly used to describe the differences between Alaska Native children make up 37% of the juvenile justice system. While this percent is equal to that of white children, the United States Census Bureau reports that whites make up 67% of the Alaska population, and the Alaska Native only and mixed race populations together only total 21%. The rates of young Native people in the justice system remains constant into adulthood. The Alaska Justice Forum reports that 37% of the adult prison population is Alaska Native. These numbers, taken within the context of historical mindsets regarding Alaska Natives, demonstrate the deficit model, which in itself creates deficits. Attempts have been made to understand the value of culture within the context of learning, and toward that end, many schools in the Fairbanks North Star Borough have an Alaska Native education staff member. Additionally, Jerry Lipka and Teresa McCarthy studied programs in Alaska and Arizona that sought to use Indigenous teacher groups as resources for curricular development. Lipka and McCarthy document the low numbers of Alaska Native teachers, only 3%, while recounting the process of creating valuable cultural approaches to education that make use of community and traditional knowledge as valuable tools in the process that would eventually be quantified in standardized test scores. By recognizing the value of Native teachers in the classroom and in the development of curriculum, we can begin to change the deficit model. In my own work as cultural liaison at North Pole High School, I work with both individual students and in classrooms to address our school climate. Each semester for over 4 years, I've been invited to guide a lesson regarding the civil rights work of Elizabeth Paratovich with a connection toward examining our students' ideas about race in school. Invariably, white students' view and understanding of all Native cultures is based only on stereotypes, most of which are negative. At North Pole, our total population is over 750 students, with only 23 as Native students. Native students are isolated in classrooms where, based on white student self-reporting, racial slurs are used openly. While these students do not face the harshness and abuse that was part of the earlier public school system, they continue to attempt to find footing in a dominant culture that diminishes their humanity. Recently, I was asked to speak in an advanced placement class that had just read Lorraine Hansberry's play, A Raisin in the Sun. I directed my talk toward housing inequities and weaved statistical information regarding Alaska Native racism as well. The teacher pointed out the accomplishments of our one Native faculty member by saying, "You guys know Mrs. W. She's educated and so's her whole family, but she still experiences racism." I turned to class and asked them, 8 white girls and 2 boys, no minority students at all in this AP class, if they thought that someone had to be a good Native to be taken seriously or treated with respect. The underpinning of the deficit model demonstrated by this teacher, who calls herself a friend of our one Native teacher, is an example of the setup for failure that Native students have historically experienced in our society and have directly resulted in high discipline, dropout, and incarceration rates. I turned to the class and asked them if they thought someone had to be a good Native to be taken seriously or treated with respect.